My fellow Americans, before I can love my neighbor, I have to learn to love myself. Before I can offer patience to the world, I have to learn to be patient with me. Before I can forgive you, I have to forgive that person in the mirror. And that's where it begins, inside. It begins inside with how I talk to myself when I fall short, how I respond to my own weakness, how much grace I'm willing to give to myself when the old patterns rise again, when I do the same dumb stuff that I always seem to do, how much grace do I give to myself? So I ask myself, how should I treat me? How should I treat me? And the answer is with honesty, not cruelty, with discipline, not disdain, with compassion, not indulgence. Because if I can't be at peace with myself, I'll spend my life at war with everyone else. And then I look outward to the ones that I love the most, to my family, to my friends, to the people whose presence shapes my life, shapes my days. And I ask, how do I want them to treat me? The answer is with respect, with truth, with kindness that doesn't flinch from holding me accountable. And then I ask, how do I treat them? Do I offer them the same level of generosity that I crave? Do I listen to them the same way that I want to be heard? Do I forgive the same way that I want to be forgiven? This is the real golden rule. It's not a slogan or a trite saying, but a mirror. It's not a commandment, it's a compass. And if it's true for me and it's true for those I love, then it must also be true for you, my neighbor, my fellow citizen, my fellow American. You want to be safe. You want to be seen. You want your children to have a fair shot. And you want your work to mean something, just like me. You get angry, you get scared, you make mistakes, and you try again, just like me. And if I can remember that, if I can see myself in you, then maybe we can start healing what's seemingly broken right now. Because America isn't a collection of strangers, it's a family of flawed and stubborn dreamers trying to live together without tearing each other apart. And families don't survive by being right all the time. They survive by choosing to love anyway. They survive by remembering that disagreement does not mean disconnection. That different stories can still share the same hope. That the phrase, my fellow Americans, is not a political salutation, but a spiritual one. It's a declaration of belonging, of shared destiny, and mutual responsibility. So I'll start where I can, with how I treat me, with how I treat you, and with the belief that we're not so different after all. So after all, I can look at every face, stranger, neighbor, friend, foe, and think, like me, this person wants to be happy. Like me, this person suffers. Then I'm not living up to what it means to be human or to be American. So how do I do it? Well, religious traditions have been talking about this for as long as there've been. Christians believe that man created mankind, that God created mankind in his own image, that every one of us is worthy. In Matthew, Jesus said, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Judaism believes that every person is made in the image of God as well. The idea of repairing the world suggests that human dignity is interdependent, that we can't be whole while others suffer. Islam considers humanity to be a brotherhood. In the Quran, it says, O mankind, we created you from a male and a female and made you into nations and tribes so that you may know one another. The Prophet Muhammad said, none of you truly believes until he wishes for his brother what he wishes for himself. Faith and empathy are, in fact, the same muscle. Buddhism talks about training the mind to extend goodwill, first to oneself, then to loved ones, strangers, and enemies. Hinduism teaches that the soul within every one of us is also with the divine. So to see the self in all beings is to see God everywhere. Stoicism, moving away from religion, talks about, and Marcus Aurelius wrote, we are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids. So to separate oneself, to be a lone wolf, is to go against nature. Confucianism talks about human-heartedness, compassion, empathy, and reciprocity. Teaches us to not impose on others what you do not wish for yourself. The philosopher Immanuel Kant said, act only according to that maxim whereby you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. Hannah Arendt warned of the banality of evil, how evil flourishes when people stop seeing others as human beings and start seeing them as categories. If that is not the nail on the head for what we're going through today, I don't know what is. But there's also a lot of neuroscience around what we've been talking about and around empathy. And modern research tells us what the mystics have always known. We've got these mirror neurons that fire when we see others in pain or joy. Our brains are wired for commitment, compassion, connection. I see that in my daughter all the time. She can tell when somebody is sad or hurt, and it makes her sad. And obviously, when she's experiencing joy and sees others, then kids laugh and very, very freely. So it's so true. So, Pema Chodron is an American-born Tibetan Buddhist, and she has this wonderful practice called Just Like Me. It's a Buddhist practice for cultivating compassion by recognizing our common humanity that we all have, especially those who can be difficult and people that we don't like or are irritating. The more we can do that, the better. The exercise involves looking at other people and acknowledging that they share basic needs and experiences, such as wanting to be loved, not wanting to suffer, and wanting to be heard. It can be done anytime. You could sit in a traffic jam and do this, replace frustration with empathy, and connect with the shared human experience of happiness and pain. So Pema says that to do this, we must find a comfortable position. So sit with your body relaxed but alert. Focus your attention. Use your breath as an anchor to bring your mind to as quiet a state as you're capable. And then bring somebody to mind. Start by thinking of somebody that you know really well. And acknowledge their human experience. Mentally repeat the phrase, just like me, this person wishes to be happy, doesn't want to suffer, and wants to be loved. You can expand the practice to recognizing people that you have difficulty with, people that you don't know very well, people in your neighborhood, or everybody in the world. And you can anchor that and rest in common humanity. So allow your mind to rest on the recognition of shared needs and feelings, ending with a wish that all beings find happiness and freedom from suffering. What do you think? It's a pretty good exercise. Realizing that we're so much more alike than we are different, that we have that drive to find happiness, to be happy, to avoid suffering, to be loved, to be heard. If we can do that, put that to work, it's going to help us to be empathetic. It's going to help us to be compassionate. It will reduce resentment. And I'm not saying that this is easy, really hard, but like everything else, easy has to get us anywhere. Easy doesn't lead to fulfillment. Easy does not lead to greatness. It doesn't lead to a functioning, healthy society. Hard things do. Hard things do. So, my fellow Americans, we may never agree on everything. But if we can see one another clearly, not as enemies, but as mirrors, then maybe, just maybe, we can build something worthy of the freedom we've been given. Do your part by doing your best.